Melody. Hey everyone, welcome to another great episode of Kitchen Party. Hello? Hello?
Well, that's always my single favorite part of the week. To see what your call is going to be like.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. I was actually thinking at first, I'm like, is it that they can't hear me, or are they just messing with me? Because I'm on like London time from the last week, and I'm ready to. I'm really happy to be home, but I'm also excited about today's show as well. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is Kitchen Party. Welcome. If you've never been here before, this is how the show works. We basically bring the coolest people in food. Cookbook authors, food bloggers, people who are creating their own businesses, people who are doing amazing things in the culinary world, and we bring them live to talk to you directly. So there's no middleman. We basically get your questions and we ask them live to our amazing guests. And my name is Babette Peppa. I'm one of the co-hosts of Kitchen Party. We do a show every single Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And my lovely co-host, Renee Lynch, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure, Babette. I'm Renee Lynch. I'm a writer and editor at the LA Times, and I work across a number of feature sections, including health and food.
Excellent, excellent. Are you drinking something tonight?
You know what? I forgot to get a drink. That is, I don't know. I'm going to have to start waving to my husband as he walks by and be like...
I want to see all the different types of like verbal, nonverbal cues.
Exactly.
You're like, in the vein. I tried something new today. I actually have a, can you see that? Can you see that it's one circular?
I love it.
Ice cube.
The ice cube? Those are so cool.
Everyone, welcome our guest, Gaby Dalkin, who is
Hi.
with what'sgabbycooking.com. You guys have to make sure you check out her website for sure. I just got the like do-it-yourself home kit to do this, where you just basically pour in the water and you have 4 ice cubes, but they don't come with directions on, because I like drinking scotch and bourbon, and I thought, oh, that's a great way to keep it so the ice doesn't melt. But the problem is they don't give you directions on how to assemble the kit, so you don't realize that you have to close it a certain way so it'll be easy to open, and then once you freeze your balls, once you freeze your balls, you're like, how do I get them out of the container? So like 5 minutes ago, I was panicking, going, I have 4 frozen balls. I have no idea how to get these out of the container.
This is behind the scenes at Kitchen Party.
I know. I was like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. So Renee, did you introduced yourself, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great. I'm sorry. I've already started drinking about a half an hour ago.
That's why
Gaby, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about what the show is tonight. So for those folks who have seen Gaby on our show before, you are probably aware of her brilliance. But for those of you who are new, why don't you tell us a little bit about your website and just a little bit about your background?
Sure.
Dive into it.
So What's Gaby Cooking is my website. It's kind of this California girl diet lifestyle type place where we work on balancing really healthy recipes and really decadent recipes. So, you know, we're all about the juice cleanse, but we'll also have a slutty brownie. We're not opposed to any of that. And yeah, I mean, I was a private chef for a number of years before I went full-time food blogger. And now I'm doing the blog full-time. I wrote a cookbook last year all about avocados because I love them. And yeah, that's about it, I think.
Now you teamed up because last week we had a whole episode with Ida Mellencamp, who is obviously like your better half, almost better than your better half. Because
she is my domestic partner because we have a YouTube show called Domestic Partners. And luckily for us, my husband and her boyfriend get along really well, so they can put up with our shenanigans most of the times. And we talk about really ridiculous things, and we're solving the world's problems about like who your celebrity crush is, and you know, really, really important things that matter in the world.
Well, now we have to ask, who is your biggest celebrity crush?
Oh my God, Tim Riggins, without a doubt. Friday Night Lights.
But wait, and you saw him. You took a picture with him at the airport.
I did. I ran into him at LAX, and I literally blacked out. I was so excited. I blacked out. I have no idea what we talked about. For like 10 minutes, and I left the conversation. Literally, I was probably sweating. I was so nervous.
When I saw that, I think you put that up on your Facebook feed or your Twitter feed. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, my God. If anybody wanted to meet this guy, it was you. That was so crazy.
Dying. And every time I fly to Austin, because that's where he lives, I always fly on American now because I'm convinced that I might run into him again.
Hey, Renee, what about you? Who's your favorite celebrity crush?
Oh, celebrity crush. Okay, I'm going to have to go with either The Rock or LL Cool J.
Oh, snap. Those are good.
I would not.
I like those big, strong guys.
Holy cow. You know what? I have a girlfriend, Latifah, who has this crush on The Rock, too. And I'm always like, what is the fascination with this man?
Who's yours, Babette?
You know, I'm more like a Pierce Brosnan.
Oh.
I like that, like, elegant. I mean, I did meet him in person once where he was so elegant. Like, even his ankles were elegant. He was just gorgeous. And I fall for men in ties and men who are just sort of like that little bit of like they're going to work kind of a look, you know, not the I don't know, not the guys who are like if they look like they go to the gym every day. I do not like that. It's too buff for me, because then I'm gonna be like, oh man, when I'm sitting there on my couch pigging out and eating a s'more, I'm gonna feel like crap. But let's stay focused. So last week we had Ida on, and we teamed up with EasyHomeMeals.com on basically looking at the dairy aisle in a totally different way, because summer's coming. So your first inclination is you want to go to the freezer section when you get to the grocery store, but there's, you know, I mean, you're basically, it's like packaged meals, like frozen foods that you're going to put in the microwave, or ice cream, or things like that. But there's so many other different combinations and different things that you can make that when they came to us and they said, hey, we'd love to team up on a couple of hangouts. Do you know what you can do in the dairy aisle? You know, oh, did you hear that? My dogs. Ignore that. I thought, hey, that would be really cool to figure out things too, because the first thing I do is I go to the ice cream section. So, Renee, do you go to the ice cream section in the dairy section?
You know, I'm a huge dairy hound. I'm not a huge ice cream person, although I do stop there quite frequently because my husband loves ice cream. So I definitely buy ice cream for him. But I love all kinds of dairy, particularly cheese. So I'm looking forward to getting some cool recipes like we did last week.
So, Gaby, what about you?
I am a huge fan of the dairy and refrigerated section of the market. I mean, I like Renee, I'm a huge cheese person. I could eat a block of any kind of cheese for lunch and just like gnaw on it on the couch. But also, like, I was a private chef for so many years, and there were so many times that I'd walk into work and think that I'm cooking for like 4 people for dinner, and all of a sudden 44 people are coming over for dinner, and I was supposed to make this giant meal. So like, I rely heavily on like homemade tzatziki or like store-bought tzatziki, hummus, stuff that I can just buy pre-made and like zhuzh up and put in a cute bowl and set it out for dinner, and everyone's like, oh my god, look what you did. It's a tricky trick.
So last week, Ada blew our minds when she told us about taking both cream cheese and feta cheese and throwing it into the food processor and like adding little blend-ins and also adding that whipped texture to cheeses and turning them into appetizers. And I think you actually put it perfectly. You said zhuzh it up. So tell us about that and tell us what are some of your tricks, because we went nuts over that last week.
Oh my god, yes. I'm all about whipped cheeses. I did a whipped goat cheese on my site the other day, and it just had like a few different herbs in it. You could put lemon zest in it, garlic. Literally, you could mix anything you want in and serve it with crostini, crackers, whatever. It's so easy, and it literally takes 12 seconds in the food processor, and who doesn't love an appetizer that takes 12 seconds?
So let me ask you a little bit more about that. So you would throw it into the food processor, and put these other ingredients in, would you add anything else? Like, would you need to add any kind of an olive oil or anything else? Or is it just really cheese and some kind of herb or salt, pepper seasoning?
Definitely salt, pepper seasoning. I always put herbs in. I'll put a little lemon zest in. Sometimes, depending on what kind of cheese it is, I like to add a little bit of olive oil or water just to like let it loosen up a little bit so it's easier to spread on whatever you're putting it on. But that's it. And you could do any kind of herb. You could do basil. You could do rosemary. You could do tarragon. Like, there's so many different possibilities to zhuzh it up, which is my new favorite word, by the way.
I love it. I love it. I just got this olive oil that's a Meyer lemon olive oil, and it is so potent. It is so strong. It's almost a little bit too strong for to put in food, like in a potato salad or something like that. It's like almost that overpowering, but it's fantastic for like dipping bread into, and I think it would be great for whipping up with like a cheese. And I have to tell you, I mean, I cook a lot. I'd never heard about like whipping up cheeses like that. And I think that that's going to definitely be a staple for me over the summer. But now you added goat cheese to it. I was dealing with just last week, I was thinking cream cheese and feta cheese. Now I got goat cheese.
Well, you know what would be really good is if you put the Meyer lemon infused olive oil in the goat cheese and then slathered it on a piece of pizza dough. Oh. Just saying. And then you have like a really fun flatbread, and you can like throw some arugula or something on top, and dinner's ready.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I'm going to do that and take a picture and send it to you.
Yeah, you can tag me in it.
For some reason, goat cheese and me do not go hand in hand at all. I'm like a whipped cream cheese person. And I tried to get Ida. I was like, Ida, what can I do? What can I do, Ida, with the whipped cream cheese? And she basically was like, oh, I don't even do that. I actually whip my own stuff, which blew my mind because I thought, shoot, I feel like a lazy person just basically going and buying that. But for those of us who are lazy, what else can I add to my whipped cream cheese, do you think?
Oh, I would do, well, I'm a fan of whipped cream cheese with chives, and then I'll put it on a bagel with some smoked salmon because that's my jam. Man, you really could put so many things in cream cheese, and they have like all those different varieties of cream cheese at the market. You could just buy plain cream cheese and add any of your own mix-ins and make your own at home.
That sounds actually really awesome. Now, I know that you did a video because you teamed up this month. I didn't know that it was going to be National Dairy Month. I know that we have a national month for everything. What was the inspiration for starting it? Because the National Frozen and Refrigerated Food Association teamed up with you. How did they find you, and how did that? There's a lot of food bloggers who watch our show. Can you talk a little bit about how that relationship came about, and what are some of the cool things you guys are going to be doing?
I actually don't know how they found me, so I don't know how to answer that question, but I do. Their PR company that they work with, the NFRA, and I have worked together multiple times in the past. So I think they probably have me and my video content like on hand. And they wanted to team up with me to do a really fun, easy recipe to celebrate Dairy Month, which coincides with my birthday month. And I feel very fortunate because I think I can eat cheese all month long, and it's just in celebration of my birthday.
And now you could call it work, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You have to eat cheese.
It is my job to eat cheese, basically. Like, I have to order a cheese plate at every restaurant I go to. I take it very seriously. But we teamed up to do this really awesome 5-layer Mediterranean dip, which is just a layer of store-bought hummus, store-bought tzatziki, chopped up tomatoes, chopped up cucumbers, and then crumbled feta on top. And it's another one of those recipes that takes almost no time to prepare, and it's great because you can do it in individual cups, and you can serve them at a dinner party for an appetizer or like kind of a quasi salad. It's so good. Literally, they're so good. I'm obsessed with them.
Gaby, can I ask you to slow down and just tell me that one again? So you would put, what would the layers be again?
Hummus on the bottom, and then tzatziki, and then chopped tomatoes, chopped cucumbers, and then crumbled feta cheese.
Ooh, so it's almost like a little bit of like cheese and hummus on the bottom, or dairy and hummus on the bottom, and like a Greek salad on top, huh?
Yeah, it's so good, and it's perfect for summer because it's cool and refreshing, and it doesn't take a lot of prep work. You're just buying a few ingredients from the market and then whipping them, zhuzhing them into something exciting at home.
What would you serve that with?
Crudité, like chopped up, like slices of cucumbers, carrots, celery. You could even throw it on some pita bread, whatever you kind of have on hand.
And I like the idea of having them in little individual, like smaller bowls as opposed to a big bowl, because I can already tell that I'm going to be like messy in there, like whipping it all around. So if I do it on my own little bowl, I don't have to care what anybody else thinks.
Yeah, because don't you hate it when you go to a party and you have like a 7-layer dip and there's one person, usually me, that's literally just eating the sour cream and the cheese and the guacamole and like awkwardly leaving everything else for everyone else. It's not cute. So the individual bowls eliminate that.
You see, I do that too. I use the bottom of the tortilla chip like a shovel and just like take all the guacamole off the top.
I knew I liked you.
Hey Renee, what is your birthday? Because I want to look up what your birthday holiday is.
Nobody's going to invite me to a party now.
Hey Renee, when's your birthday?
My birthday is April 30th.
Okay, April 30th. So March 8th is National Peanut Cluster Day. That sucks. I wanted it to be like National S'more Day, and then yours is, well, since we're talking about birthday months, let me just see. And if anyone wants to know their birthday, their food holiday, post on Twitter using the hashtag KitchenParty. Give us your birthday date, and I'll look to see if I can find your birthday. And yours is April 30th. So Renee, yours is even worse. Yours is National Raisin Day.
Oh, I like raisins.
I want mine to. Is there a National Mozzarella Day? Because I would like that to be a special day in my life.
Gaby, when is your actual birthday?
June 1st, last weekend, 2 weekends ago.
Oh, belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, let me look up actually June 1st and see.
I could put raisins in chocolate. I could put raisins in cream cheese. I could do a lot of things with raisins.
You could put it in cookies.
Rum raisin ice cream?
Yeah, I'm into that.
Renee, Gaby has us beat. Hers is National Hazelnut Cake Day.
That's boring.
That so good. Did you know that, Gaby?
I want a new birthday.
I want to be. Oh, you know what? I think October 18th is National. I was thinking. I just saw a note that it says October 18th is National Cupcake Day, and guess what October 18th I think is going to be, Renee?
Your wedding day.
It's also the day Eric and I met.
Wait a second. You said National Cupcake Day?
Isn't that ironic?
No way. Are you serious?
I just saw it just now. Or actually,
you have to get married on that day.
Cupcake Day.
Do you like cupcakes?
I love. I'm like the only person who still believes in the cupcake cause.
That could be a very fair statement.
and I admit it. I'm like, you know what? I still believe in it.
Cupcakes will live forever. Cupcakes will live forever.
I think so too. I'm having faith. I just want to the folks who are tuning in on Google Plus. I want to put out a call out to them and say, "What's up, guys?" Lynn Chen checked in. I think it's Finia Denzi. Oh man, I'm really sorry if I butchered that. Sarah Davis. We got Wemeg John. I don't know if that's backwards. If it's John Wemeg. And then also we got Robert Stars, Elizabeth Florina, Noah Gilbert, Lean N. I don't know how to say that name. We got Stephen Swimmer. We got Francois Villeneuve, Tibby Scott, Billy O'Brien, Romeo Woods, Diane Hayes, Samuel Arngoat. I hope I said that right. Sherry Rame. Mabeth, that's a cool name. Mabeth Bright. That's pretty cool. Peaceful Cooking, Danielle Nichols also tuned in as well. So those of you who are watching at home, obviously, you can leave a question on our Google Plus page. And then we just got a question that came in from Ozetta or Ojetta. This is actually, it's funny to watch me actually say this, I hope. But this is a very complicated name. Gassie Morris. I think that's how you say your name. And she said, and I think it's a woman, said, "Hi, do you have any refreshing summer drink ideas?"
Ooh, 100%. Okay, ready? I'm obsessed with lemonade, and I will booze it up and add some vodka or some gin to it. But there's a strawberry basil lemonade on my site that is freshly made lemonade plus strawberries and basil, and you like put an immersion blender in there and blend it all together and then strain it and add alcohol, and it is bananas good. Like, it is so good. It's refreshing. It's also very dangerous because you can't taste the alcohol. Just so you know.
Can you make that same recipe with like frozen, like say, like if I get frozen lemonade, like if I don't have time because in the summer I just don't have time to do it. So
well,
if I took,
and in actuality, who wants to juice 10 lemons? Like, that takes a lot of time. So you could just use frozen lemon concentrate. You could also do it with lime concentrate because that would be really good. Yeah, that would be really good. I'm into that. I might actually put that on the blog next week.
That sounds delicious. So, do you snack a lot? Like, do you do like bite-sized things throughout the day?
I am a major snacker. My fridge is constantly stocked with snacks because if my blood sugar gets a little too low, I get a little grumpy, and nobody wants to see me when I'm hangry.
Are you like the Hulk?
Yeah, literally. My husband's like, we need to get you some food stat because you're being really grumpy.
I love that. I love that. I want to just give a shout out to some of the folks who are joining us over on Twitter. We got Mitch Jenkins from the Daily Waffle. Hey, Mitch. And let's see. Also, I noticed somebody else, Beth Florina, tweeted out that this was going on tonight, and she was looking forward to it. Thanks for doing that, Beth. And the Fair Trade. So,
love them.
Michelle Jenkins from the Daily Waffle had retweeted your ingredients for that dip, which sounded so good.
Awesome.
So it sounds like that's going to be on her menu too, as well as mine.
Yay!
Now, dips seem like a party staple. I know you guys touched upon that, and we're not going to invite Renee to any parties this summer because she's going to eat all of our dip. I'm the kind of person who will literally, like, if I have a dip, I don't scoop it. I just kind of get I don't know why I eat that way, but I do that with almost everything. I just slightly dip things.
You're polite. You're polite.
Maybe that's what it is. Everyone's always like, "You're the weirdest eater I've ever seen in my life." Now, if I'm putting together a party, like say I have like girls over for like a poker night, or I should invite you guys over for a poker night. Do you guys like playing poker?
Oh my God, I'd love that.
I like to
don't
eat.
really how to play, but I'd love to try.
Yeah, I don't know how to play. I'll lose, but I'm happy to bring food over.
You're perfect. You're perfect for the game. And also, we have to know, what kind of lipstick are you wearing? Because that is beautiful.
I am wearing NARS, and it's a combination of this new orange and this new pink, and I blended it together to give me a little summer flair.
Nice.
You know, speaking of lipstick, and this is totally off topic for a second, but I was inspired. I was just reading on the way back from London. I was reading about a company in New York that has a storefront where it's only lipsticks, and they do custom blended stuff. Like, you walk in and they'll like figure out your perfect color, which I was kind of bummed because I had just gotten back from New York, and I thought, so if you're going to New York, anyone, go check it out. I don't even know the name of the thing, but if you just type in like custom lipstick New York.
I was in New York this morning, and I feel like I was kind of shafted now that I didn't know about that.
Next time I'll make sure I send out a memo.
Thank you.
I'm terrible at makeup.
Gaby, what were you doing in New York?
I was out there for a magazine photo shoot, and I did a radio show while I was out there.
Oh, that's cool. Can you tell us anything about the magazine shoot, or is that still top secret?
I don't know if it's top secret.
Well, maybe I'll let you know. You can let us know.
I will let you know for sure.
KitchenParty hashtag.
Yes, it'll come out in August, so it'll only be secret for another couple, like 6 weeks or so.
All right. We were talking about beverages, and if I can jump in with a little bit of recipe of my own from the dairy aisle. After we hung up, after we finished our party last week, I remembered a friend of mine does each summer, she takes pina colada yogurts, and she makes pina coladas using pina colada yogurts so that she can keep the calories down but still get that flavor.
That's genius. straight up really genius. I want someone to make a cocktail with a coconut Greek yogurt.
I bet you could do the same thing, right?
I think so. I actually think you could make that into a really awesome milkshake of some sort, or like a smoothie of some sort with rum. That would be really good.
We should try. We should just experiment. We should just bring a whole bunch of ingredients together and be like, how many different things can we make in one?
It's like Iron Chef for cocktails.
That's right. Well, I'm telling you, I think this one would win because it's like really creamy and light. But you know how pina coladas, you just want like 17 of them, right? Like you don't want to drink one, you want to drink like a million. But this, you can go heavy on the alcohol. You still get all that pina colada taste, but it's not quite all that sugar rush and stuff. But it's really good.
I made a recipe a few weeks ago. I don't really remember. All the days blend together, but it's a bourbon chocolate milkshake with vanilla ice cream and bourbon and coffee, and you can put chocolate chips in it, and it is like the quintessential summer cocktail cold drink, whatever you want to call it.
You know, do you guys ever McConnell ice cream? Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
They have a bourbon nut, and I don't know if it's pecan or what the nut is, but it is so good. But they're expensive. They're like $10 a container. But that has the supposedly it has the bourbon in it, but I don't know if it has that much. How do you make that recipe? Because maybe it's easier than buying the actual ice cream.
The bourbon milkshake.
Yes.
How do you make that one? It's 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream, a third a cup of coffee, a little bit of bourbon, depending on how boozy you want it to be. I mean, you could do like 2 tablespoons to more, and then you just add in some chocolate chips and literally throw it in the blender, and you're done.
Oh my God! Babette, does that not sound great?
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, that sounds good. If you put that link on Twitter, if you can use the hashtag KitchenParty, I'll actually post that later because I just got that as well.
Okay, you're good at multitasking. I don't know if I can do this and tweet at the same time.
You know, a lot of people, I think, like summer's coming up, or summer's here, and they're looking for dressings, and they're looking for things that, they're trying to eat light in general, just like flavors, cool flavors. But is there anything that you can recommend? You know, maybe something for a salad. Like, what can I make that, maybe it's something that in the freezer aisle I can go and take a few ingredients and put them together and make like my own dressing. What would you recommend?
I'm trying to find it right now. It's actually straight out of the refrigerated section of the market, and it's like a Greek yogurt dressing, kind of a spin on a homemade ranch with Greek yogurt. That's so easy. It's another one of those things where you just whisk everything together, and you can serve it on any kind of a salad. You could do it on an arugula salad, on like a chopped salad. It's one of those things that works for anything, and I actually make dressings ahead of time. Like I'll make them on the weekend and then use them throughout the week just so I don't have to always be doing dishes because I am lazy. But it's really good. Let me see if I can find the recipe for it.
What's what kind of acid or where's the tartness come from in that dressing?
Lemon juice. I have lemons on hand at all times, and so I always use that to kind of cut anything and add a little bit of acid to stuff. Yogurt.
So, lemons and yogurt. That sounds really good. It does sound like a little spin on like a ranch dressing. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's really good. And you could jazz it up with some herbs. You could do any of that kind of stuff as well. I'll find it eventually.
Gaby, on EasyHomeMeals.com, did you add some recipes to their site? And if so, what can folks find there? And some of those recipes that we're talking about today, are those available on their website?
Yeah, my 5-layer Mediterranean dip should be there, along with the video we created for it, which is a really fun step-by-step video that we did, just kind of highlighting all the things, and it's really pretty, actually. I love it. So you should definitely check that out. But that was one of the ones that we just launched up there, and there'll be more throughout the year. Oh, I found my dressing. My dressing is, okay, I lied. It's not lemon juice. Don't disregard what I said. It's Greek yogurt, red wine vinegar, olive oil, a little bit of sugar just to give it a hint of sweetness, and then I like to season it with some red pepper flakes and garlic. and it's bananas.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It's
That sounds
very
really good. I like to sometimes take a vinaigrette and then put a little bit of just a little bit, but equal parts mayo and yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
To make it like a creamy vinaigrette, which that is my
Yeah.
favorite, like a creamy a creamy vinaigrette. That's like my favorite kind of dressing. But like it's basically taking a regular vinaigrette and then just adding a touch of creaminess to it.
That sounds like it would be delicious on like a cucumber salad on a really hot day,
Yes.
an al fresco dinner party.
Right. I will tell you that it can sometimes turn a little pink. So if you were gonna do it like for photos, you might want to use like a white vinegar or champagne vinegar, because it does kind of look weird, but I don't care because it's so delicious.
I want to make that. That sounds good. Next time I invite myself down to Long Beach to Matt's house, you'll have to come over and we'll make that together.
Oh, that's great. I would love to do that. Have you been in that pool yet?
Oh, I mean, you would think I would live there because I'm there all the time. I just invite myself over. I'm really good at that.
So for some of the folks who are watching at home, do you want to tell us? Renee and I know who Matt is, but do you want to give a little bit more explanation so people?
So Matt Armendariz is my best friend / amazing food photographer extraordinaire who is awesome, and he lives in Long Beach, and they just redid their house, and they have the most epic backyard ever. And I bought them one of those blow-up Shamu pool floaties, and it lives there. So whenever I go, I can hang out with Shamu in the pool, and it's kind of my favorite way to spend the day. He also has a really awesome food blog, mattbites.com. What?
Well, hey, for those of you who are watching as well, I posted the links that Gaby posted to us. That she mentioned. The bourbon chocolate milkshake is on the Google Plus page, and so is the grilled chicken, peach, and avocado salad dressing. So if you guys want to check that out, the links are on our Google Plus event page. And when I go down the dairy aisle, like I said, I do the ice cream. That's like the thing that gets my attention. But is there like is there like some things that people totally miss in that section that they can, maybe fresh herbs, or is there something in that aisle that people don't even realize that's there that can help them like make their dinners quicker or fresher, or something that I'm missing? Because
going beyond the cheese and regular dairy.
There's something besides cheese. No, I'm just kidding. I used to one-pack mine. I just love cheese. This is another little tip for when I was a private chef and I was like sprung breakfast parties and brunches, off nowhere. They have really awesome potatoes in the frozen section that you can buy, and then whip those into any number of like potato pancakes, or maybe they're already roasted potatoes that you just have to heat up, and you can throw them into breakfast burritos, things like that. I find things like that are so useful to have on hand because you can really just spin them into any number of dishes at a moment's notice.
Now, you mentioned the roasted potatoes. I have to say I've never tried those. Are they already seasoned or are like quartered?
Yeah, they're
potatoes?
Quartered, seasoned, roasted, and really good. And then they have like the hash brown type potato that you could also buy, and those would actually be really good to just crisp up and put them in a breakfast burrito with cheese and eggs. Just saying.
How would you crisp them up?
On the stove, you would just put. I guess I would do a little bit of butter in a skillet and put them in there, crisp them up on both sides, heat them up, and I like my potatoes extra crispy. And then you could fold it into a tortilla with some shredded Colby Jack cheese, salsa, scrambled eggs, avocado, because it has to have avocado, and breakfast, brunch. You could serve that to anyone, or you could just give it to your family, whatever. It works for any number of purposes.
That sounds good. I have to say, I have to start cooking breakfast on the weekends because I end up eating out every Saturday and Sunday, and I'm like, it's too much money. I need to start. So I'm going to try that. I could probably make the potatoes the night before.
100%.
And have everything just ready to go, throw it into like a scrambled eggs or something, or burrito. My husband loves burritos, so he'll totally love that.
Well, good thing we live in California because I feel like burritos here are the way of the world. I'm on the hunt for the best breakfast burrito.
I just had Mexican food in London, and it is not good.
It
Not
leaves a
good.
lot to be desired, I bet.
Not good. Not good. No, it was really it was sad. I mean, there was one place that we found. We went from London to Dover, and we went to Canterbury, which was really interesting because it's like the oldest church pretty much in the country. And we found this cool Mexican restaurant. It was like a Burrito King. It was something like I forgot what it was called, Burrito something, Burrito Town or something. And it was so cute. And the girl who was running it was awesome. She was great and she was adorable. But I got the burrito, and they serve their veggie as cactus. Have
What?
you guys ever had cactus?
Yeah, but not in a burrito.
No, it was. I took like one bite and I was like, oh, this will be kind of interesting as a vegetarian because I'm just tired of just having like beans and rice. I'm like, I'll try it, and I got it, and I was like, oh my god, this cactus is ridiculous. It was terrible. What's grocery shopping like for you? Because everyone is on their phone and everyone's kind of connected, and we're all like looking. I mean, do you look at blogs for recipe ideas in addition to like your own blog? And what's the grocery store experience like for you? Do you go in with like a plan, or are you like me? You just are like, I'm hungry, I'll just eat that, and I'll eat that.
Well, first part of the question, I look online for recipe inspiration all the time. I am constantly on Pinterest. I'm always looking for new ideas. I feel very fortunate that I get to go out to eat, a bunch of times and find recipe inspiration there and then come home and turn it into my own creation. But I am a little OCD when I go to the grocery store just because I'm so used to cooking for other people and being on a tight time frame. So I make lists, and they're sectioned out by part of the market. So there's the produce section, there's the dairy section, there's the meat section. Like everything has its own part on my list, so I can strategically go through the grocery store with my cart and get in and out as fast as possible. Because if I don't do that, I will be in there for 2 hours and I will buy everything that I've never tried before because it all looks delicious, and packaging these days is so cute and it'll sell me on just about anything.
Do you do a lot of menu planning in advance?
Yeah, we try to menu plan for us here at home, my husband and I try and have a general idea of what I'm going to do for the week so I can grocery shop efficiently. Plus, this is big, I just got rid of my car. So I no longer have a car living in Los Angeles, so I have to be very strategic about doing my big grocery shopping on the weekends because I can take my husband's car because I can't ride home on my bike with 47 grocery bags.
That's amazing. That is amazing to be in Los Angeles without a car. With choice.
Today's my first day, so we'll see how long it lasts.
What led to, Gaby, do you mind me asking what led to that?
I just didn't want my car anymore. I'm so sick of driving. Like, I hate driving in LA. There's so many bad drivers, and it's really hard to be sitting in traffic all the time. And I actually don't drive all that frequently. Being able to work from home, I go to the grocery store and the farmer's market all the time, but they're both within bike riding distance. I just never actually ride my bike there because I could go in my car. So I thought I'm going to get rid of my car for the summer and just see if I can do this. And if I can, I'm just going to keep going and wear my bright red helmet with white polka dots and look like a ladybug.
It's interesting because you were a chef for a celebrity, and now you've become like a celebrity chef. What do you think of this whole rise of like the chef as celebrity?
I think food is such a hot place to be right now. Like, people are obsessed with eating. Everybody wants to be a foodie, even though I hate that term. Everyone's Instagramming their meals at dinner. I think it's just kind of the thing to do. It's like the trend right now. So I think it's wonderful. I love seeing people, really passionate about what they cook and what they're feeding their families or their friends or whatever, and sharing it with their followers or their readers or whatever it is, whether it's online or on TV. It's cool. And it's so fun to get to see everyone's perspectives on food. I mean, I was just in New York, and last night we ate at Bobby Flay's new restaurant, and it was so wonderful to see all of his ideas coming to life on the plate, and it was so cool to see all the different parts of the world that he took, creative ideas from and then blended it all into one cohesive menu.
Tell us about a few of the things that you had? That sounds really interesting.
We had Literally, it was me and one of my girlfriends, and we ate enough for like 3 quarterbackers. We went to town. We had this potato and manchego dish. It was called like an 11-layer potato, and it was super, super thin slices of potato layered with manchego cheese that was only aged for like 8 or 9 days with some herbs and salt and pepper, and then baked. And it was so light and perfect, and the manchego gave it this really awesome salty quality. It was out of this world. We also had octopus, this charred octopus, which is my favorite thing currently right now. I know not everyone loves octopus, but I think it's so good. What else did we have? Sangria, lots of sangria.
I approve. I approve. The octopus is interesting. I give you props for trying. Renee, have you ever tried octopus?
You know, I was just going to ask her if she had any idea how to cook it, because I was at a restaurant not too long ago, and a friend ordered a few appetizers when I was away from the table, and I came back, and she said, "Oh, I want to try this charred octopus," and I was like, ugh. And it was so delicious, and it was very lightly, it was very simply done. It was charred octopus. It had very high quality olive oil drizzled over it on crostini with a few herbs, but then it had super finely diced preserved lemon on it. And so it was like this incredible citrus flavor, lemony citrus flavor on top of the octopus. But the octopus was prepared perfectly. It was not chewy. It wasn't like I wasn't like yanking it, or it was so good. But I thought, this is delicious, but I don't even know how I would begin to make that. Do you know anything about cooking octopus?
Yeah, so embarrassingly enough, Bobby told me exactly how he made this last night, and I'm kind of drawing a blank on the first few steps, but it's cooked for quite some time. Like, it's like roasted or something for a while, and then it's charred, and then it's finished in the pizza oven. So it cooks for a really long time to kind of tenderize it and make sure that you're not getting any of that chewy quality that people don't like.
Wow. Now, I would think cooking it longer would make it rubberier, but apparently it has the opposite effect.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, kind of like other meats, like in proteins. You can either cook it really quickly and just give it a quick saute and cook it through, and that's great, or you cook it for a really long time, kind of like pulled pork or something like that, where you really are letting everything break down. But if you cook it somewhere in the middle, that's when I think it starts to get really tough and it doesn't really work out.
Well, it definitely did have that almost buttery, soft kind of quality to it, so it was fantastic.
Oh, yay. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that conversation was like, yeah, I ate at Bobby Play's place last night. And then like five minutes later, you're like, well, Bobby told me. I'm like, you didn't tell me you actually were at the restaurant with him.
One of my girlfriends is good friends with him, so we spent a decent amount of time with him last night. And his New York Times review just came out yesterday, so it was a very celebratory scene at the restaurant last night. It was really fun to actually just be there and see everyone so excited about such a great review.
That's what I call bearing the headline.
Exactly. In our business, we call that bearing the lead.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Now, you know, when because you entertain and you come from, I think a lot of food bloggers, a lot of home cooks. You know, we're sort of stepping up our game with entertaining, because every single magazine and Pinterest post will show us like our stuff needs to be beautiful and great tasting. What are some of the things that you do, because you have a chef's perspective and you have presentation down, you have amazing flavors that you can tap into. If you were a home cook, what are some of the shortcuts that you would do so that you're not spending your entire time in the kitchen? You're actually out with like your friends having a good time during a party. Do you have any advice for home cooks like me who are not as talented?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super important to be present when you're entertaining. I don't like being in the kitchen when my guests are there, because I feel like then they come into the kitchen with me and they feel like they have to help, and it's a lot of stuff going on. So I would say 2 things. One, prep ahead, like as much as you can get done ahead of time, the night before, the day of. I think that's really important, just so things are ready to go kind of when your guests get there, and you can just kind of put everything out there. Part of prepping ahead is picking a menu that works for that kind of event. So I do a lot of entertaining, and it's like a taco bar, a bruschetta bar, and something like that. Or like making a really elaborate cheese tray with different kind of meats and stuff like that, so people can graze and nibble for a solid hour before we get into dinner. Oh my God, I forgot what my second tip was going to be. It was so good.
It was called, I always invite Babette and Renee over.
Yeah, right?
I've been lucky enough to actually have a meal at Gaby's house, and I have to tell you that she practiced what she preaches, because everything was like, if you come to my house for dinner, I'm like, I hope my kitchen sink doesn't have like a bunch of dishes in it. I try to do exactly what Gaby said. I do not always succeed, but you walk into her house, everything is beautiful, everything was laid out. But what it did exactly what she said. It allows her to mingle with her guests and be there, as opposed to people get nervous if they feel like you're busy in the kitchen and they want to help. But she was able to just really just work the room. She was able she was introducing people, and that's nice.
I remember what my second tip was. So I would say, besides doing all that we just talked about, really letting your ingredients speak for themselves. I mean, I think, Renee, you probably, I don't remember, what did I cook when you were here? Was it a brunch thing? I don't remember.
Actually, I was there for a brunch, but also for that cheese night.
Oh, you're right. So I think going on that, like really letting really epic flavors speak for themselves. So I'll do a really beautiful caprese salad with just freshly sliced tomato, really beautiful fresh mozzarella, and basil and some aged balsamic, and that's it. Like, really few ingredients when you're entertaining for a large group of people, so there's nothing that's too stressful or complicated, and everyone can just enjoy like the really simple flavors that are coming from something like that.
I want to ask you, Gaby, if you have any suggestions for, do you ever do any dairy marinades for meat?
Yes. This is so funny you asked, because I'm actually heading down to Matt's studio tomorrow to shoot a bunch of new recipes, and one of them is going to be a yogurt marinated chicken, and it's marinated in yogurt, a little bit of tomato paste, and then it's dusted with paprika before you grill it, and then served with the tzatziki sauce, which is a yogurt sauce with cucumbers and lemon juice and dill and salt and pepper, and it is going to be so delicious. I'm very excited. I hope we make it right around noon so we can eat it for lunch after we shoot it.
Oh, that sounds good. I have a recipe that I love for a chicken tikka masala, and I've taken the kind of the base of that, of just making the chicken, and now I use it for other things, because there's something about marinating meat in yogurt that just kind of adds so much. It makes it juicy, but it also makes it so tender, and it's a little weird. Some people may not like the idea of meat with dairy, but I love it.
It really, really works, and you can do all sorts of meat. You could do lamb, you could do chicken, you could do beef. Like, there are all sorts of different kinds of meats you could use for dairy marinades, and it works beautifully.
Yeah, it's a little offbeat, but I've enjoyed it, and sometimes every once in a while you'll see even a salmon dish, like a tikka salmon that calls for like a yogurt marinade on a salmon. I haven't tried that yet. But
me neither. But let's try that together, because that sounds delicious.
That sounds good. Like some nice big fat cubes of salmon.
Please.
I love tikka masala. It's like my favorite Indian item. I don't know how many calories it is. It's probably a lot.
It doesn't matter.
That's true. That's true. I want to put a shout out on Google Plus to Kitchen Shaman, who also just tuned in a few minutes ago. Also, he's been on our show. He's watched our show quite a few times, so I want to make sure that we acknowledge that he is back. We appreciate you watching the show. For those of you who are watching on Twitter and on Google Plus, and also on BakeSpace.com, we have about 8 minutes left to our show. What are some of the staples that you have? And since we're talking about, the dairy aisle, you can start with the dairy aisle. What are some of the staples that you have in your refrigerator? Like any time of day, if I were to go into your fridge, what do you always have on hand?
Fresh mozzarella, the little balls. A block, like literally a 1 pound block of Colby Jack cheese, because that's what I grew up eating, and I think it works on just about everything.
Okay, you just reminded me of something. We need to know from last week's episode, did you or did you not lie that you did not eat the entire block of cheese?
What do you mean?
Does this make sense?
No. What did Aida rat me out on?
Yeah, we said anything we should ask her. We should ask Gaby, and she said ask her if she really ate the cheese or did not eat the cheese. She thinks you lied, but I don't remember if it was that you did eat the cheese or you did not eat it. But she thinks it was a whole block.
Oh, I would eat a whole block of cheese. I think she would think I would eat a whole block of cheese. She's witnessed it before. It's not pretty. Like a 1 pound block of cheese in one sitting is not, and you just space it out.
Do you eat it just by itself? Like you just like slice a piece, and do you lie to yourself and you have like a really small slice?
Yeah, I'm like, it's just one slice, and then I go back and I take another slice. I'm like, it's okay, as long as I don't go through half of this before dinner, like I'll be fine. And then I go through 3/4 of it before dinner, and then I shred the rest and put it on my burrito, and it's gone.
That's why we love Gaby.
That's why I have to go on a juice cleanse every once in a while, because it all evens out in the end.
Love it. Gaby, do you have any suggestions for serving dips and cheeses, but like non-carb, what am I trying to say? Like instead of using bread or crackers, what are some other non-carb things that we can do to serve up cheese and dips?
Sure.
I'm trying very hard to stay away from the carbs as much as possible.
Okay. I think when you're making kind of a refrigerated dip or something like that, I think vegetables are great options. I mean, you can do the normal celery, carrots, cucumber things. Endive is another really awesome thing you could put out with that you could just dip in. Plus it's beautiful, like it would make for a beautiful arrangement. You could also make really cute little lettuce wraps, like if you were going to do some sort of spiced yogurt dip, you could put it in a lettuce wrap with some more vegetables and just roll it up and eat it, lettuce wrap style. I think that would be a fun no-carb way to go. And you could put cheese in that as well. I mean, and you don't even need a cracker when you're eating cheese. I just say go straight for the cheese. Don't waste your calories on the cracker.
I said I was trying to cut back on the processed carbs, not the cheese. I'm not going to do the cheese.
Yeah, I say save the calories on the crackers and just eat more cheese.
Speaking of the cheese, Gaby, you have to tell us about your famous queso fundido.
Oh, snap. The queso fundido. Okay, let me grab the recipe for that, because that is one of my... So I grew up in Arizona, and queso fundido was a way of life there, because at every restaurant, regardless of whether it was a Mexican restaurant or Italian, like there was some form of queso fundido, because that's the way we roll in Tucson. So this queso fundido I made is just charred poblano peppers, a little bit of butter, onions, and then you use milk and a variety of different cheeses. I like Monterey Jack, and you can use Oaxaca and pepper jack, and it all kind of gets melted into a skillet and then put in the oven to finish it off. And it is the most gorgeous and dramatic cheese, bowl of melted cheese you're ever going to have in your entire life, and you can just use a tortilla or some vegetables if you don't want tortilla chips, and scoop it up, and it is pretty insane.
I saw that recipe and I thought, I want to use strips of bell pepper to eat that.
Yeah, that would be so pretty. I like that.
I'm going to post that link on our Google Plus page as well, just so you guys have it. Now, you mentioned milk. Do you experiment with different types of milks, like almond milks and things like that, or are you like a strictly pure milkist?
I like regular milk, whole milk, and I love almond milk. I like vanilla almond milk for my smoothies in the morning. I think that is really delicious. I don't drink a lot of soy milk just because I drink so much almond milk and regular milk. I don't think I need soy milk. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. Are you guys milk purists?
I love milk, and I love half and half in my coffee. We were talking about this last week. If I do not have half and half in my coffee, I'm almost like, just forget it.
Not worth it. Do you ever put almond milk in your coffee?
I like the heft of the cream. I like that added creaminess.
Totally.
So I'm really kind of like the half and half girl.
That's fair.
No sugar though. I don't like it sweet.
I'm the same way, but I like it sweet. Like I'm the kind of person who there's a sweet cream creamer. I forgot what brand it is. It's whatever the most popular brand is, but it's an Italian sweet cream flavor, and it tastes so good that if I don't have it in the morning, like I went through periods, I think I said this last week, where I tell myself, that's it. I'm not gonna, this is like my diet. I'm not gonna do that. I'm trying to get into shape. I'm trying to lose some weight. That's the thing I'm gonna give up. After like 4 days, I literally am like, I'll give up anything else except that. I was like, I need that. I need to start my morning off with like, you know, with just it being right. That my coffee has to be right. I'm such a, not that I'm a purist of coffee, but it's almost, that coffee can be bad as long as the cream is good.
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know why that happens, but it's just for some reason. Like I had in London, at the apartment that we stayed at, and just so you guys know, it's 6 o'clock, so we're going to be ending in a couple minutes. The apartment I stayed at, they had instant coffee, and I looked at that and I'm like, oh my God, instant coffee. This is going to be terrible. This is going to be horrible. But for some reason, because the creamer worked with the instant coffee, it was okay. In fact, I took the instant coffee home thinking, well, I may need this one day when I run out and I don't have any more coffee. And then this morning when I made my real coffee, I looked in the refrigerator and I was like, I don't have milk, because I use lactate. So I was like, I don't have milk and I don't have creamer. I'm going to have to get up. And I didn't care what I looked like. I was like, I'm going to have to go to the store immediately. Like, I'll have nothing in my refrigerator. And I'll be like, oh, I can wait. I'll just order from Grubhub. I'll just do whatever. If I don't have creamer, I'm like, I have to go to the store immediately. And then I had taken the creamer from London, because she had the powdered creamer. And even then, I was like, I'll just add twice, 3, 4 times as much as you normally would, because that consistency. But it was ridiculous. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. Now, tell us, before we leave, because we're going to be signing off in a second, tell us a little bit about, this month, what you guys have planned. Is there anything that they should go to the website to check out? Or is there something that you have coming up? And also some of the recipes you guys may have already posted that people can go to. And also let them know where they can find the recipes too.
So let me pull up what we've already done for you. So this month, June is dairy month. So we're going to have so many awesome recipes on the website. I have the Mediterranean feta dip on my site, but EasyHomeMeals has a ton of different recipes. You can just go to EasyHomeMeals.com. There are recipes from me, there are recipes from Aida, there are recipes from their other recipe developers that are all going to be celebrating dairy and everything amazing about the dairy aisle and other refrigerated sections of the market. I mean, you really can't go wrong. They have omelets on there, they have cheese puffs, there's mac and cheese, pizzas, so many different options.
And I do have to confess, I called Ida earlier today. I felt really bad about that in my thing. So I'm confessing it. I'm saying I'm sorry publicly for the world, for the web to hear. For some reason, it's like when I see it spelled, I'm like, I always get confused. So I apologize. If she's watching that, I can send her a link to this public apology right now. Because I realized that
I think she's gracious.
Well, I said it, and I was like, that doesn't even sound right. What am I saying? And I confess, it must be the gin and tonic, which, by the way, if you notice.
Good showing.
You can just see the little bit of the ice ball there.
And the ice cube is still there.
I'm telling you, though, while it melted, I didn't feel like the drink got watered down. It was, like, consistently good the entire time. So
that's going to be good with Gaby's lemonade.
Yes, it will, and it will, 100%, and every other cocktail we make.
Gaby, can you tell folks where they can find you as well? Like if they want to, check you out on Pinterest, they want to check you out on Facebook. Where can they check you out?
So my website's what'sgabycooking.com. I think it's below my name right here on this little thing. And then I'm What's Gaby Cooking on everything else. So Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, all that. They're all linked to everything on my website, so you can find it all there.
Now, with your new show that you're doing, do you guys have a separate not Google Plus? Do you have a separate YouTube channel for the new show?
Yes, we do. It's youtube.com/Gaby and Aida. Oh my God, you would think I would know that. yeah, youtube.com/Gaby and Aida. But there are links on our sites for both of those as well.
Awesome. So Renee, anything you want to any last words you want to share?
No, I feel like Gaby and Aida have set us off for summer with some great snacking and entertaining ideas.
I absolutely agree. Now I feel like going to the. Oh, you know what? I was going to ask you one more question before we turn off. I'm sorry. One more question.
No.
Is there anything in the dairy aisle that you have not tried yet, but that you've been wanting to try?
Oh my gosh. Probably. Oh, there's this new frozen pasta that's stuffed with like 4 cheeses that I would really like to turn into fried ravioli, and I haven't done it yet. And it's kind of driving me bonkers. I need to do it. But it's just so hot. I'm waiting till it cools down a little bit to like really indulge in my fried ravioli obsession.
Ooh. And what would you serve that with? Would you do a dip, like a marinara dip, or what would you?
Yeah, I would heat up some either marinara dip or some pizza sauce. You can buy like pre-made pizza sauce in the refrigerated aisle and just stick it in the microwave or over the stove so it warms it up a bit, and then you just dip your fried ravioli right in. Oh my goodness, it's so good. And also if you have kids, that's like a huge crowd pleaser for kids.
Oh, that sounds good, good, good.
Those are great tips. Renee, guess what's on the agenda for next week?
What?
Wine.
Yay!
Yeah, we're gonna have a really cool wine pairing.
I'm not gonna forget my drink next week.
I know. We got to figure out how to. I may actually drop you off some wine too. I'll see if I can, so that maybe we can get the winemaker from Columbia Crest to tell us what they're going to talk about, so we can find out. We can do maybe some wine tasting, you and I, because it's not like we need an excuse to drink wine, but we might as well.
KitchenParty is my excuse.
I'll be like, what do I feel like having some wine? I was like, let's make a show. And then it's, hey, look, don't blame me. I'm just the messenger here. I want to say thank you to Gaby for joining us this week. Now, Gaby, do you have anything coming up? Do you have any more cookbooks that you're going to be launching soon, or anything that we can be on the lookout?
We are relaunching my website at the end of this summer. We're redesigning it. It's going to have a whole new look and vibe and setup, and that's very exciting. But other than that, it's just the Absolutely Avocados cookbook right now. We'll see what happens in the future.
Awesome. Well, for those of you who are watching, don't forget, every week we are here 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh, it's the gin tonic is already taking effect. I'm getting our times wrong. We will see you next week. We'll be chatting about wine. If you're a wine lover, definitely come check out the show. And then I forgot who we're going to have after that, but I will check out. If you want to see any of our old episodes, we have some amazing folks who have come in already. You can go to youtube.com/BakeSpaceTV. You can also find us on Twitter at BakeSpace or at BakeSpace.com if you want great recipes. And we will see you next week. Thank you, Gaby, for coming. And Renee, it's always a pleasure to spend my favorite hour a week with you.
Thank you. Same here. Gaby, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. This was so fun. I love being here with you guys.
Well, come back. Actually, we're thinking about doing a new show called Wine and Wine.
Okay, I'm totally into that. I'll bring the cheese.
Yeah, we should totally do it. We'll just basically get a whole bunch of people on food to come and chat together, and we'll just pick a topic, and we'll be like, the topic is chocolate, and then everyone just is on their own, and we're defending our own things, and we're whining. So
I'm into this idea. I'll even host it. We can host it here.
Awesome. All right, guys. We will see you soon. Have a great day. We'll see you next
everyone.
week.
Bye. Bye.